Hello my friends, I am Humberto Fernandez, and I know that when you're looking into buying a property in the Mexican Caribbean, finding a nice, dependable, knowledgeable broker is of the utmost importance. So today I want to share with you 5 pointers plus one infallible tool that will help you find that broker that would take you one step closer to making your dream come true. So stay with me. So before we start with pointer number 1, just a friendly reminder that if you like the content that we're doing on this channel, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Pointer number 1. Ask to see any license or certifications. You'll see in the past, having a license or a certification was not that big of a deal in the Mexican Caribbean, but in the past few years, it has become something necessary so that you can operate, so that you can work as a broker down there. And so that, I'm gonna say, is like the first screen that you can always have to check if the broker you're dealing with is actually qualified or not. So just ask plainly and simply if you have any license or certification, and that's going to be like the first filter that you can apply to see if the broker you're dealing with is right for you. Now, the second pointer is actually pretty cool because it's gonna serve 2 purposes. First, obviously to know if your broker has experience with sales, but also it's gonna help you bonding, because the next question that you need to pose him is whether or not he or she has experience with previous sales, specifically in your case, sales with foreigners. Now, let me explain myself, because when you've been around for some time, you're gonna have a lot of anecdotes of all sorts, and that actually works as a very nice resume just to tell you that I know what I'm doing, and your broker should be able to do the same. And the cool fact about that is that it is not just that he or she is going to tell you a number of sales that he has performed, but also is going to give you some insights as for he or she handles different situations. And that, my friends, are going to help you build a relationship with your broker, and that's why this pointer number 2 is so important. The next pointer, I would say that is a bit of a trick question. Ask your broker about his or her relationship with developers. This is very, very important. At this point, probably, if you're doing your research and your due diligence, you already know some of the names of the big players in the Riviera Maya. Probably names like Menese or Simca or GMB are already familiar to you. So why don't you ask your broker, hey, with which developers do you work with? And then you need to be attentive to that answer, because most of the brokers, yeah, they will work with the major players, but not that many of them are going to have relationships with smaller developers that sometimes they can offer better opportunities. So just listen. That's a very good window of opportunity to really learn about how knowledgeable your broker is. Most likely he or she needs to know a bunch of developers, both Playa del Carmen, Tulum, and the in-betweens, and kind of know them by name if he or she has been around for some time now. So this question is going to offer you a lot of information about the experience of your broker. So similar to the previous, the 4th pointer is to ask your broker about his relationships with other parties that are related to the industry. That means asking him about his relationship with notaries, appraisers, and management companies and all of that. A knowledgeable broker is going to be able to pinpoint which notaries he or she feels more comfortable working with, and or if he knows companies that can manage your property when it's delivered and whatnot. That information is going to be very important for you, because now you know that you're dealing with a broker that can actually give you not just advice about the property, but also about all of the things related with acquiring a property, namely the title and then managing it and whatnot. So that pointer is very, very important for you to take into consideration. And at this point, I just want to add something. Don't be shy. Really, really don't be shy. Just ask the questions straightforwardly. There's not going to be any problem, and actually it can help you find the right broker without any much problems at all. And my friend, the 5th and final pointer, it's like the final test. Ask your broker whether or not he or she has any direct or exclusive listings. Why is this question so important? Because specifically in the Riviera Maya, any broker really can work with all of the major developers, but it takes time and work and consistency to actually get to have your own direct or exclusive listings. So if any broker has any of those, that's actually a very, very good sign that he or she has been around for some time and that he's trustworthy. You can see that there are some other people that have already trusted him or her to list their properties. So that question is going to be super, super important. And also, it's a little, way to know that he is capable enough to actually gain the trust of other sellers and that he can offer you something that no one else has, which is those exclusive listings. So this final question actually is super, super, super important. And as promised, this is the infallible tip. Ask your broker about his or her coverage. Why is that? Because if you have a broker that actually can offer you a lot for sale in Cancun, but also a house in Chetumal, but also a condo in Tulum, that actually is a pretty bad sign. To be successful in this industry, you gotta be focused, and that's something super important. You gotta be focused. You need to understand the market you're working with, and that means that you have to restrain yourself from listing everything everywhere. A good broker is gonna be very, very focused. So if you ask your broker at the same time for a condo in Tulum and then to a house in Mexico City, and he's able to offer both, that is actually not a very good sign. Okay, he can refer you to someone in Mexico City, that's a good sign. But if he's the one listing both properties, that actually speaks of lack of focus. And so a professional broker, if you ask something out of his spectrum, is just going to decline the offer, and you should look for that. If you ask for something that is not in the market that he knows, he should just decline the offer, and that's going to be a sign of focus. You should be working with a guy like that. And so, my friends, I hope these pointers have been helpful. If you want to have any more information, or you can suggest any other more pointers, you can always do so in the comment section. Thank you, my friends. To the next one.